Here. Yes, one more time. Guide Dog School is the name of the book. I'll read this page one more time, okay? Blind people need help sometimes, so they get dogs to guide them. The dogs are called guide dogs. Guide dogs help blind people go out in the world. This is a guide dog, and this person is blind. You know who blind people are? Blind people cannot see very well. Their eyes don't work. So dogs help them. Guide dogs help them. Let's read one person at a time. Jaden, can you read this page for us, please? Start.
This blind people need help sometimes. Sometimes get dogs guide them. Are called guide dogs. The dogs are called guide dogs. Help to blind people go out in the wood.
Thank you, Jaden. Yes, I asked Jaden to read, so Jaden read it for us. Yes. Guide dogs help blind people go out in the world. Look at these puppies. Guide dog puppies are very, very cute. I'll read, listen carefully, and then I'll ask one of you to read. Guide dog puppies have a lot to learn. They will go to guide dog school when they grow up. But first, each puppy lives with a family, right? Shanari raised her hand up. Shanari, would you like to read this page for us? Since you raised your hand. Okay, start, Shanari.
Guide dogs have a lot to learn. They will go to guide dog school when they grow up. But first, each puppy lives with a family.
That's right. These are the puppies, guide dog puppies. They're very cute. Thank you, Shanari. You can raise, you can lower your hand. I'll do it for you. Yes, they have to go to a guide dog school first. Then they can help people in the future. Next page, I'll read, listen. Living with a family. The puppy gets to know everyone in the family, but just one person in the family is the teacher. Sometimes the teacher and the puppy get together with other dogs. See, they're all teachers, dog teachers, not students, not children teachers. They teach dogs how to become guide dogs in the future. Sanaji's hand is up. Sanaji, let's read this page.
Living with a family. The puppy gets to know everyone in the family, but just one person in the family is the teacher. Sometimes the teacher and the puppy get together with other dogs.
Very good. Thank you, Sanaji. Going to the next page. Oh, look at that girl. She's kissing the puppy because the puppy's cute. She's kissing him right on his nose. I'll read. The teacher can be an adult or a child. Like she's the teacher, even though she's just a child, still she can be a teacher. The teacher feeds and walks the puppy. The puppy learns how to care for the person. That is important because guide dogs must take care of their owners. Guide dogs have a very important job to do to help the blind people. Amishka, you're on top. Amishka, let's read this page, page 6.
The teacher can be an
Adult
or a children. The teacher feeds and walks the puppy. The puppy learns how to care for the person. That is imperative because
That is important. Important.
Important because
Guide dogs.
guide dogs must take care of their own.
Owners. That's right. This page, page 7, a little bit short. Puppies learn to come, lie down, and sit. They go to stores and parks. They ride in cars and other transportation. Transportation is a very long word. Transportation. Okay? Whose hand is up? Isuli's hand is up. Isuli, let's read this page, page 7. You're muted. Okay, start.
Puppy
Puppies learn to come.
learn to come.
Lie
Learn
down.
by them. They got to
Stores.
roll and
Parks.
her. They
Ride in cars.
in birds and
Other
other
transportation.
transportation.
Transportation, that's right, a very long word, transportation. Puppies learn to come, lie down, and sit. They go to stores and parks. They ride in cars and other transportation. Going to the next page. The puppies, look at this boy and his dog. They look happy. The puppies stay with their families for a year. They have learned to love people. But then it is time to say goodbye. The dogs have to go to guide dog school. Oh, I see. Uvini's hand is up. Uvini, let's read this page, page 8.
The puppies stay with their families for a year. They have learned to love people, but then it is time to say goodbye. The dogs have to go to guide dog school.
Very good, thank you. At guide dog school, what happens at the school? The trainers teach the dogs more lessons. Trainers, now trainers teach them. First, the dogs learn how to wear a harness. What's a harness? These robes, these strips, these belts around the dog, they are called a harness. First, the dogs learn how to wear a harness. A harness helps the dog pull a person who cannot see. Dasin's hand is up. Dasin, you have a nice haircut. Let's read this page, page 9. At guide dog school.
At guide dog school, the
Trainers
trainers teach the dogs
more lessons.
lessons. First the dogs learn how to wear
Wear harness.
a harness.
A harness
Helps the dog pull a human, a person who can see, who
cannot see. Yes, that's what they do. The harness is like a belt, like a rope. The dog pulls the person who cannot see with it. Let's go to the next page. Here they are again. The dogs learn to listen. They learn to listen. Why do they need to listen? Let's see. The dogs learn to listen. They must follow directions. Their trainers teach them how to cross the street when it is safe. They listen to cars. They listen to vehicles coming and going. They have to look left and right, right and left, no cars, and let's cross the street. They have a very important job. If the dogs don't look, if they don't listen, if they just start crossing the street, a car is gonna hit them. So it's very important for them to listen and to look. Nobody's hand is up. Who would like to read? Raise your hand if you would like to read this page. Somebody who didn't read yet. Who didn't read yet?
Sir, can I read?
Nefesh will read this page for us. Page 10 for Nefesh.
I like to read. I like to read.
Okay, Nefesh is reading
the
right
dog-
now.
The dogs learn to listen. They must follow directions. Their trainers teach them how to cross the street when it is safe.
Very good. Page 11. The dogs walk with their trainers. They walk together. They learn to look for danger. They can never chase a bird or a cat. You know how dogs like to chase birds and cats? But these guide dogs, they cannot do that. They have a very, very important job to do. Their job is to keep their owner safe. That's why they cannot play like other dogs. Sophia, would you like to read this page for us? Okay, start.
Me.
Read. The dogs
The dogs walk with their trainers.
they learn
To look for danger.
danger.
They can never chase a bird or cat. Their job is to keep their owner safe.
Very good. You can read very well, Sophia. Let's see what's gonna happen next. Next page. Guide dogs visit a busy city. Guide dogs visit a busy city. You can see that they're riding an escalator. Escalator is like a moving steps, moving stairs. They learn how to keep a blind person safe on stairs, like that. They get used to loud noises. Sometimes there's a lot of noise in the city. Cars and construction work is happening. A lot of buses and trains and helicopters and rockets and whatnot. Iron Man and Spider-Man. Yes, there are many things happening in the city, but dogs, guide dogs, they keep their owners safe. Let's see who's gonna read this page for us. I'll ask somebody who didn't read yet. Hasali didn't read yet. Hasali, please read page 12 for us. Guide dogs
Guide dogs visit a
busy city.
busy city. They learn how to keep a
Blind person
blind person safe on trainers.
stairs.
Stairs. They get used to
Loud noises.
noises.
Loud noises, that's right. Ready to go. The dogs have learned. Shh, shh, shh. Dogs have learned so many things. It's time to take a special test. Now they have to take a test. Like you take a test at school, guide dogs have to take a test too, a special test. The trainers cover their eyes. See, their eyes are covered to see if the dog is ready. The trainers cover their eyes. Some dogs pass the test. Then they are matched with a blind owner. If they pass the test, then they can go and help the blind person. If they cannot pass the test, they have to stay at school longer and study some more. Who didn't read yet? Let's see. I think Lakindu didn't read yet. Lakindu, would you like to read it for us? Lakindu, page 13 for you.
Academy Padang Karo.
Ready to go, Lakindu?
Not you.
Mari.
Let's start. Lakindu,
Guide.
go. Ready to go.
Guide dogs.
Oh, over here, page 13. From here, ready to go. Here, Lakindu, page 13.
The dogs have learned so many
Things.
things. It is time to take a
Special test.
special
Test.
test. The
Trainers.
Trainers.
trainers cover
There.
their eyes. Some dogs
Pass
pass
The
the
test.
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 Then
Then they are
they are
They are
matched
met with a
blind owner.
blind owner.
blind owner. That's right. Let's see what's gonna happen next. Next page. Finally, the last page. The owners go to guide dog school with their dogs. This is an owner. Now, this is a blind person, and this is a guide dog who helps her to get onto the bus. They're in the bus right now. The owners go to guide dog school with their dogs. The dog and the owner become a team. They're a team. They always go together everywhere. Now they are ready to go out in the world together. They can take buses, they can cross streets, they can go anywhere they want to go. Go to a park and come back home safely because the guide dog guides the owner, the blind person. Who will read the last page for us? Shanadi's hand is up again. Okay, Shanadi, let's read the last page.
The owners go to guide dog school with their dogs. The dog and the owner become a team. Now they are ready to go out in the world together.
That's right. Now they're ready to go out in the world together. You did a very good job reading, I think. Do you have a dog? Who has a dog?
I
Oh, you don't have a dog.
have a dog.
You have a dog?
have a dog.
Can you show me your
have a
dog? Show me your dog.
I
You
don't.
have a dog.
I have a.
Show it to me. Show me your dog if you have it.
I have
Where? Show me.
my
Is there a-
cousin
Is
has
there
a
a picture?
dog. I didn't
Maybe
have
it's
a
in the
dog.
garden, sleeping.
I
in your
have
house. You have a fish.
Yeah.
No, my cousin has a dog.
Dog and cat.
My
Hey,
cousin
sorry, a
has a dog,
dogfish?
but I did.
Or a fish dog. I don't have a dog. My neighbor has a dog,
Sir,
2 dogs, but I have no dogs.
sir,
I have a daughter,
I have 3. Sir,
3 dogs.
I have 3 dogs and 1 cat. Sir,
Oh,
and 1 cat.
And a cat.
Sir,
let's see.
sir,
Yes.
can I play that piano?
The piano, not now. What is, you're late today. What happened? It's 11:22. We already finished 1 book.
Connection problem.
Connection problem. Oh no, poor you. Okay, now we have to finish the Magic Tree House story today. Okay, we're gonna try to finish it today. Do you remember what happened?
Piano.
Oh, somebody's. Yeah, later you can play the piano if we have time. We have to finish the book today, the Magic Tree House book. Who remembers what happened? Do you remember what happened?
Jack, he left his book and he saw the dinosaur and he can't go to the tree house.
That's right. So Annie was in the tree house. There's a tree over here. I'll draw a picture. You You can see Annie was in the tree house. Jack went to the top of the hill. He went here. He got a his pack, and he got the book, and now he's there. That's his backpack, and he has a book. Ugly picture, right? But now there's a T-Rex over here. Let's turn him the other way around. He's looking at Jack.
But
T-Rex.
the T-Rex was there.
His sharp teeth. He's looking at Jack. He's right there between the treehouse and Jack, and he wants to eat him. He has a long tail and big arms, though. No, doesn't have very big arms. He has small arms over here, right? It's a bad picture. I'm sorry. It's difficult to draw on Zoom. And he has these spikes probably, right? All over his body, or he doesn't. No, he doesn't. It's a bad picture. Yeah, and so now Jack has to go back to the treehouse, but he cannot because T-Rex is right there between him and the treehouse. What is he going to do? Let's read. A Giant Shadow, chapter 8. I'll read, listen carefully. Jack jumped behind the magnolia tree. His heart was beating so fast, he could hardly think. His heart's beating very fast. He peeked out at the giant monster. He looked at it. The horrible looking creature was opening and closing his huge jaws. His teeth were as big as steak knives, so big as knives in the kitchen. Don't panic. Think. Jack peered down at the valley. He looked at the valley. Good. The dog-billed dinosaurs. Do you remember the name of the dog-billed dinosaurs? Starting with letter A. Anatosauruses, right? They were sticking close to their nests. All of them were there. Jack looked back at the Tyrannosaurus. Good. The monster still didn't seem to know he was there. Don't panic. Think. Maybe there is information in the book. Jack opened the dinosaur book. He found Tyrannosaurus Rex. He read. What did he read in the book? This is what he read. Tyrannosaurus Rex was the largest meat-eating land animal of all time. If it were alive today, it would eat a human in one bite. And human is gone. That's how easily he would.
Sir, it is a picture I can see. Let's
Oh,
see the
I'll show you a
picture.
picture a little later. The picture is at the bottom. Wait, I'll show it to you. Great. The book was no help at all. It doesn't help him to know that T-Rex eats people. Okay, he couldn't hide on the other side of the hill. The Anatosauruses might stampede. If they all run together, they will trample Jack, so he cannot go to all the Anatosauruses. Okay, he couldn't run to the treehouse. The Tyrannosaurus might run faster and eat Jack. Okay, maybe he should just wait. Wait for the monster to leave. Jack peeked around the tree. The Tyrannosaurus had wandered closer to the hill. Oh no, T-Rex is walking closer to where Jack is. And where's Jack? Jack is right there. He's looking at the book, and T-Rex is getting closer. Look how big he is. Look how big his mouth is.
I love T-Rex.
Very scary. You love T-Rex? What do you love to do with him?
Sir, I like T-Rex too. Sir, I like T-Rex.
T-Rex is
They are
dangerous.
carnival. I also carnival.
Really? Let's continue. Let's see what's gonna happen. Something caught Jack's eye. He saw something. What did he see? Annie was coming down the rope ladder. Was she nuts? Why is Annie coming down? Does she want to fight with T-Rex? What was she doing? Jack watched Annie hop off the ladder. Let's see. Amishka, please don't press that button. She went straight to the Pteranodon. Pteranodon is the flying one. She was talking to him. She was flapping her arms like this. Annie was doing this. She pointed at Jack. Then she pointed at the sky. And then she pointed at the treehouse. She was nuts. Why is she doing this? What does it mean? What does it mean? Does it mean fly to Jack take him up and fly to the treehouse. Is that what she's trying to tell Pteranodon to do?
Yes.
Let's see.
Yes.
Go back up the tree, Jack whispered. Go! Suddenly, Jack heard a roar. Why? The Tyrannosaurus Rex was looking in his direction. Uh-oh. Jack hit the ground. He lay down on the ground. The Tyrannosaurus Rex was coming toward the hill. Oh no, but Jack is there on the hill. Jack felt the ground shaking because he's so heavy. The ground is shaking like an earthquake. Should he run? Crawl back into Dinosaur Valley where Anatosauruses are? Climb the magnolia tree? What should he do? Just then a giant shadow covered Jack. He looked up. What is that? A helicopter? A Superman? What is above him?
Dragon.
Dragon?
And the dinosaur.
Oh, let's see. The Pteranodon was gliding overhead. The giant creature sailed down toward the top of the hill. He was coming straight for Jack. Yes, Pteranodon was coming. What is going to happen? Chapter 9, The Amazing Ride. Only 2 chapters left and then the book would be over. Only 10 chapters in this book. The Pteranodon coasted down to the ground. He landed. He got down. He stared at Jack with his bright, alert eyes. What was Jack supposed to do? Climb on his back? But I'm too heavy, thought Jack. Don't think, just do it. Jack looked at the Tyrannosaurus. He was starting up the hill. His giant teeth were flashing in the sunlight like this. Rawr, flashing bright light. Right? The sunlight was reflecting from his giant teeth. Okay, don't think, just do it. Jack put his book in his back. Then he eased down onto the Pteranodon's back. He climbed on his back. He held on tightly. The creature moved forward. He spread out his wings and lifted off the ground. They teetered this way, then that way. Oh, Jack nearly fell off the Pteranodon's back. The Pteranodon steadied himself, then rose into the sky. Jack looked down. The Tyrannosaurus was chomping the air and staring up at him. He's trying to catch them from the air, but they were too high. He couldn't bite them. The Pteranodon glided away. He sailed over the hilltop. He circled over the valley, over all the nests filled with babies, over all the giant duck-billed dinosaurs. Then the Pteranodon soared out over the plain, over the Triceratops, who was grazing in the high grass. Triceratops has 3 horns, 1 on his nose and 2 above his eyes, remember? It was amazing. It was miracle. Jack felt like a bird, as light as a feather, and there's a picture. T-Rex is running after him. But he cannot catch him. Jack is flying up high in the sky. Can't catch me. Na, 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 he's saying. He's holding onto Pteranodon's crest. He's flying like a bird. Yeah. What's gonna happen next? Let's see. Yeah, he can't catch him. The wind was rushing through his hair. The air smelled sweet and fresh. He whooped. Woohoo! He laughed. Ha 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 ha. Jack couldn't believe it. He was riding on the back of an ancient flying reptile. The Pteranodon sailed over the stream, over the ferns and bushes. Then he carried Jack down to the base of the oak tree. When they came to a stop, Jack slid off the creature's back and landed on the ground. Then the Pteranodon took off again and glided into the sky. Bye, Henry, whispered Jack. Are you okay? Annie shouted from the treehouse. Jack pushed his glasses into place. He kept staring up at the Pteranodon. Jack, are you okay? Annie called. Jack looked up at Annie. He smiled. Thanks for saving my life, he said. That was really fun. Climb up, said Annie. Jack tried to stand. His legs were wobbly. They were a little bit shaky. He felt
Probably.
Hurry, shouted Annie. He's coming. Who's coming? Pteranodon or T-Rex? Somebody's coming. Jack looked around.
Tyrannosaurus.
Tyrannosaurus. Yes, the Tyrannosaurus was heading straight toward him. Uh-oh. Jack bolted to the ladder. He ran quickly to the ladder. He grabbed the sides and started up. He started climbing fast. Hurry, 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 screamed Annie. Jack scrambled into the treehouse. He's coming toward the tree, Annie cried. Suddenly, something slammed against the oak tree. Something pushed it. The treehouse shook like a leaf. Uh-oh. Jack and Annie tumbled into the books. Make a wish, cried Annie. We need the book, the one with the picture of Frog Creek, picture of their village. Wow, Sophia, beautiful hair, said Jack. Where is it? He pushed some books aside. He had to find that book about Pennsylvania. There it was. He grabbed it and tore through it, looking for the photograph of the Frog Creek woods of their village. He found it. Jack pointed to the picture. I wish we could go home, he shouted, pointing at the picture. I wish we could go home. The wind began to moan, softly at first. Hurry, Jack yelled. The wind picked up. It was whistling now. The treehouse started to spin around and around and around. It spun faster and faster. Jack closed his eyes. He held on tightly to Annie. Then everything was still, absolutely still. Are they back home now? Let's see. Chapter 10, Home Before Dark. A bird began to sing. Jack opened his eyes. He was still pointing at the picture of the Frog Creek woods. He peeked out the treehouse window. Outside, he saw the exact same view, like a picture in the book. We're home, whispered Annie. The woods were lit with a golden late afternoon light. The sun was about to set. No time had passed since they'd left. For so long they were in the dinosaur land, but now they came home and it's the same time as when they left. No time passed. Like magic, yes?
We saw the picture. I can
Okay, I'm reading right now. Reading. I'll show you the picture after I read these two lines. Jack, Annie, a voice called from the distance. That's Mom, said Annie, pointing. Where is Mom? There is Mom. Here's Jack and Annie looking out the window from the treehouse. That's their house. It's their mom. She says, Jack, Annie, where are you? Come home. Jack saw their mother far away. She was standing in front of their house. She looked very tiny, like an ant. Annie, Jack, she called. Annie stuck her head out of the window and shouted, coming. Jack still felt dazed. He just stared at Annie. What happened to us? He said. We took a trip in a magic treehouse, said Annie simply. But it's the same time as when we left, said Jack. Annie shrugged. And how did it take us so far away, said Jack, and so long ago? You just looked at a book and said you wished we could go there, said Annie, and the magic treehouse took us there. But how? It's impossible. It's magic. Magic doesn't work. And who built this magic treehouse? Who put all these books here? A magic person, I guess, said Annie. A magic person. Oh, look, Jack said. I almost forgot about this. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the gold medallion. Remember the gold medallion? The circle looks like a coin. Someone lost this back there in Dinosaur Land. Look, there's a letter M on it. Annie's eyes got round. You think M stands for magic person? She said. I don't know, said Jack. I just know someone went to that place before us. Jack, Annie, came the distant cry again. Annie poked her head out the window. Coming, she shouted. Jack put the gold medallion back in his pocket. He pulled the dinosaur book out of his pack and put it back with all the other books. Then he and Annie took one last look around the treehouse. Goodbye, house, whispered Annie. Jack slung his backpack over his shoulder. He pointed at the ladder. Annie started down. Jack followed. Seconds later, they hopped onto the ground and started walking out of the woods. No one is going to believe our story, said Jack. They're walking back home together. It's time to go home. No one's gonna believe us, said Jack. So let's not tell anyone, said Annie. Dad won't believe it, said Jack. He'll say it was a dream, said Annie. Shh. Mom won't believe it, said Jack. She'll say it was pretend. My teacher won't believe it, said Jack. She'll say you're nuts, said Annie. We better not tell anyone, said Jack. I already said that, said Annie. Jack sighed. I think I'm starting to not believe it myself, he said. They left the woods and started up the road toward their house. As they walked past all the houses on their street, the trip to Dinosaur Time did seem more and more like a dream. Only this world and this time seemed real. Jack reached into his pocket. He clasped the gold medallion. He felt the engraving of the letter M. It made Jack's fingers tingle. Jack laughed. Suddenly, he felt very happy. He couldn't explain what had happened today, but he knew for sure that their trip in the magic tree house had been real. Absolutely real. Tomorrow, Jack said softly, we'll go back to the woods. Of course, said Annie. And we'll climb up to the tree house again, said Jack. Of course, said Annie. And we'll see what happens next, said Annie. Just play the piano. Of course, said Annie. Praise you. And they took off together, running for home. The end of the book. Jack and Annie went home, but tomorrow they said we will come back. Now, Magic Tree House has many more adventures. They have many stories. This was the first one, but there are many others. I'll show you what other stories they are. What other stories out there? Here, Magic Tree House books. We read the first one. It's called Dinosaurs Before Dark, but there are many, many more. For example, Night at Dawn, Mummies in the Morning, Pirates Past Noon, Night of the Ninjas, Ninjas, Afternoon on the Amazon, Sunset of the Saber-Tooth, many, many books about Jack and Annie and their adventures. How many? 44 books there are, and also research guides. So if you want to read more about Jack and Annie and their adventures, we can read them together, or I can send you the books and you can read them by yourself. They're very fun. Interesting books about all different kinds of adventures. Adventures in space, adventures in the future, adventures in the past. Sophia wants to play the piano for us now. Yes, Sophia, please play the piano and then we're gonna go. Play, Sophia.
Sophia.
What song will you play for us today?
Mary had a little lamb.
Mary Had a Little Lamb. Okay, we'll sing together. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb. Ready? Go.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb,
Sophia has
little
to
lamb,
play. Play, Sophia.
a
Play.
little lamb. Was lamb. Mary had a little. Mary had a little lamb. Little lamb, Jesus wasn't there.
She's playing. Listen. She's nervous. You can do it. You can do it. One more time, Sophia. Play.
I need to play happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, happy birthday. Sure. Happy birthday. Yes, whose birthday is it today or this week? Shanari's birthday?
Me.
Like Kinder's birthday? Mora's birthday? Whose birthday? Nobody's birthday? Winnie's birthday? Winnie what?
Sophia's birthday.
All right. Next week we'll start a new book together. Okay. Would you like to read Magic Tree House again?
My birthday.
Hmm?
Sir, let's read Ninja.
What book would you like to read next time? Shall we read another Magic Tree House book or a different one? Maybe Judy Moody. Do you know Judy Moody books? Maybe we can try reading that one.
The second one.
Second, Magic Tree House book 2. You like that one?
Yes. Yes.
Let's see. I'll choose a book. I will choose one book for us to read. Okay. I will choose the best book for us to read, and we'll read that one next time. Yes, that's all. Our time is over now. I'll see you again next week. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye, sir.
Congratulations. We finished
Bye.
Magic Tree House book 3.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
God bless you, sir.
God bless you too. Bye, everyone.